Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thank you so much for stopping by, joining us at just the right time because Cassie is about to get in trouble.
I'm trying to channel my inner Brandon Eddy with my red Solo cup.
Well, she's messing with me because she said she needs Coke Zero and she doesn't have any.
We've been stuck in the house for a while. I haven't had any Coke Zero, and I'm pestering Gary, and he don't like it.
Are you gonna pester me on the camera?
No.
I'll pester you back. She's pestering me. We're having fun. She's having fun. But now we're gonna video catching up.
Who knows what?
Catching up with the Walkers. No, I do have something to talk about. So you guys know
You usually have a plan. I'm just shooting from the hip.
we're in the middle of a snowstorm right now. So if you saw the end of our last Walker Farm Fan video, you saw that we got, I think at that point it was noon, and we had, what, 2 inches.
I don't know. I walk
Not
out
a
there
whole
in one spot, and I'm walking on grass, and I go to another spot, and it's knee high.
Yeah, so
How does anyone really judge that?
out in the very middle of the pasture where there's no trees, no nothing, it's maybe 5 or 6 inches.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I see grass out there.
Well, there's grass growing, of course, but I'm just saying. So that's where when I went out and fed the chickens, it was kind of out in the very middle of the pasture, 5 to 6 inches. They forecasted anywhere from 4 up to
11,
8
I saw.
to 12.
What kind of job can you be like that? Well, guys, we got a game tomorrow. We might lose by 50. We might win by 20. Either way, we're right because I said the margin.
Well, they're usually wrong because I usually trust them somehow, some reason, which got me in trouble the other night when I took Mazzy to see the ventriloquist Darcy Lynn. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Darcy Lynn. That was a good show she put on. A good clean show for family and for kids. But when we went to see that, I drove my 2-wheel drive Toyota Tacoma, which I only drive because I don't want to drive my 4-wheel drive 3/4 ton pickup that gets horrible gas mileage. Anyway, drove that 2-wheel drive truck, and it was really sketchy coming home.
I heard.
Yeah, Mazzy was not wanting to die that day, she said. She wants to go to heaven, but not like this, she said. She was a little scared.
Also, Gary doesn't have the O-ring light on, and I already on. So.
Yeah, so there goes that theory out the window. But yeah, the weathermen, they put their predictions out there, and the people generally go crazy. Like, they go and they buy all the things and like panic shop, I guess you would call it. And when
I shop when I'm hungry, I buy all the things.
At our hometown is no different.
I know Gary put out a reel of what Walmart looked like when they said the snowstorm was coming, and people were like, "They forget to stock your Walmart?" Nope, it was completely full a few hours before.
So I have video. So I went there that morning to get stuff for I don't remember, like the stew that we're eating right now. Things for a casserole. Things to make for my grandpa's tater tot casserole.
Yeah.
I went there for some things, and I knew I'd probably have to go back that evening, so I videoed what the milk and bread looked like before. Let me show you the before right now. So that was like 7:30 in the morning, maybe 8 a.m., and no problems. There's plenty of milk, plenty of bread, plenty of everything. This is the day before the mega storm is coming, and Cassie hasn't yawned all day. And the second we start videoing, she starts yawning.
I think it's when I look at you sideways.
Oh, I don't know. But so that was before the mega storm came. But then the day goes on, and then I went back at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, somewhere later in the day after the workers got off work rush. And while I'm talking right now, I'll throw up the video of that. And you can see that all of the shelves of the milk are completely empty. All of the bread is completely empty. And I didn't video it, but all of the water was completely empty. There was no bottled water.
In case their pipes freeze.
I guess. I don't know what it is.
Which,
but
if people are like us, we only drink bottled water. We don't drink it out of the tap, out of our city water. So Maybe they just want to make sure they had enough.
Yeah.
But didn't you say one family was looking for some milk and a girl was like, "There's skim milk," and she was like, "Ain't nobody gonna drink that in our family."
Yeah, there was two girls. One was probably like 13 or 14, and the other one was probably drove over there 17 or 18. And she drove back and said, "They still have this one." She reached down and grabbed a skim milk with a pink lid. And she's like, "There's nobody in our family gonna drink that. Put it back." And I was like, "Well, that's probably pretty accurate, but." If you were thirsty
only good skim milk is from Braum's. My dad used to get skim milk from Harps or Walmart all the time. And it was like trying to drink water. But Braum's skim milk, they know what they're doing.
Do you know why?
Because it's good.
But do you know why their skim milk is so good?
Because it's fresh.
I don't think you know why.
Why?
Okay, I'll tell you why. So Braum's does something really cool with their skim milk. They boil off or evaporate 50%. So what that does is it leaves double the protein, double the nutrients, and half of the water as Cassie yawns. We're up to number 3 or 4 now. But it leaves half of that. So what it leaves is like a condensed milk. But it's still skim milk. So the fat's still gone. But it's like a condensed skim milk, and it's really good. It tastes like regular milk.
You've told me that several times. I just don't ever remember.
I know. And some of you have no idea what we're talking about when we say the word Braum's because it's a dairy store.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for you that you've never experienced Braum's.
Well, what does Braum's have, Cassie? Like a typical Braum's store, what is it?
So Braum's on one side is a fast food restaurant where you can get burgers, chicken. It's also
chili.
Ice cream. They have chili, and then they have breakfast burritos and breakfast sandwiches and things. And then on the other side, it's a little supermarket, and you can get the essentials: milk, bread, eggs, some frozen stuff, some canned stuff, ice cream, fruits, vegetables. It just kind of depends.
Beef, sausage, bacon.
Some may have more options than others.
Yeah.
But, all the ice cream toppings you could think of, because it's Braum's ice cream and dairy store. But it is a restaurant also. And their burgers are really good because they use their farm fresh beef.
And somehow they've managed to keep the prices kind of in check. Like they're not out of control. And there's a good reason they do that.
Do they sell eggs?
Yes, they sell eggs.
Are their egg prices still down?
I think they're probably bump up. Supply and demand, people.
Do they do their own eggs?
I think so. But the reason that some of their products are so good, especially their milk and some of their animal products, is because Braum's owns their own dairy. I think it's in Tuttle, Oklahoma, is the main location. And they own a huge, massive farm operation. So they have their own dairy cows, and they're all A2. You know what A2 is?
I can't tell you, but yes.
Okay, Cassie's heard of it. So
there's all the craze.
There's other farmers out there on homesteaders right now that are buying their own their tested A2 dairy cows. Anyway, it's better quality, better reasons that we're not going to talk about because we're not nerding out on it right now. But they have the biggest A2 herd in the country, and they only sell their products within, so if here's Tuttle, Oklahoma, 350-mile radius. So Braum's only sells. How's this turning? How's this turning into a Braum's infomercial? But they only sell their products in a 350-mile radius for freshness, and because of that, their products are delivered to the store. And again, supply and demand. Sometimes they have more milk than people are buying. So a lot of times they'll put their milk 2 gallons for $6. I used to see it 2 gallons for $5. So we can buy milk really affordable there, and it's a better quality than say Walmart or Target or whatever big brand grocery store you're going to.
Yeah, we have Aldi's. Do we have a Kroger?
I think there's a Kroger around.
Yeah,
we don't have that Texas
one.
What's that called?
H-E-B.
Head. We don't have a Head.
Within driving distance, Walmart is basically our best bet. But people closer to the city and stuff, they have a few more options than us. But we don't have near the grocery store options as people in other areas, I don't feel like.
No, there aren't a whole lot. But Braum's, the downside is you can only get those few things, but the upside is the few things that they have are really fresh and really, really good. So, number 6. So we're going to throw some tomahawks at Cassie's theory of being sleep deprived as her reason for yawning right now. Because guess who slept in for the last 2 days?
I think it's just, I don't know,
Who
funny.
knows?
But also, like, my brain has to, like, focus, and it's not allowed to go do 7 things at once like it normally does. Mm-hmm. And it gets tired.
Because it's not allowed to text
Multitask.
message, watch a YouTube video, fold clothes, and randomly text people different memes.
Yeah.
Like her normal.
This is boring for it.
Well, entertain the people. No. So but Cassie has got to sleep in the last two days at least. Maybe 3, because this is
But Eddies are keeping me up on their lives.
well, Cassie's going to go live either tonight or tomorrow.
I've been wanting to go live. I've been trying to talk Gary into it.
Yeah, we'll go live either tonight or tomorrow afternoon. So we'll see.
I may have basketball games tomorrow.
You've already watched the live, or we'll go live later. But one way or the other, Cassie has got to sleep in because no school on Monday, no school on Tuesday, no school on Wednesday.
Now no school on Thursday.
Now no school on Thursday.
And
So
Friday's not looking too great.
Friday's actually they're cleaning it. I mean, there's gonna be
The
some
administrator
progress.
said she plans to have it Friday, but the Locust Grove person I talked to that is married to their administrator said that they're not too sure about Friday.
Well,
Because they have bus routes.
yeah, they have bus routes, also bus routes that go in crazy places. So
Yeah.
whenever you have no bus routes, then as long as the school's prepared and there's people that can get to some good roads, then you can have school.
Well, and a lot of time, well, not a lot of times, but before, our school has said, if you can't make it, let us know. And they work with you. It's not like, as big a deal.
Yeah.
That was mainly, though, when we had all that rain that one year, and we have a handful of families that live where they have to cross a creek or different things. And if the creek was up and they couldn't pass it, they told them to let them know. Because there was no reason to not have school for the 5 families that couldn't cross their creek.
Yeah, and like I don't remember getting out a ton when I was a kid for school, but we always had a few snow days. But it seems like kids these days do get out a little more often. Like I never ever remember getting out for cold weather. And I know in the last couple of years, multiple schools have let out days for like temperatures close to
I can tell you
10 degrees.
a few reasons for that. My thoughts are, our parents didn't send us to the bus stop dressed unprepared.
Oh, they dressed you up in warm clothes?
Or like used to, people would have a little hut down there to at least get you out of the wind. You'd see some people, or your parents would drive you down there in a car and wait with you, or you wore a coat and you were dressed and gloves and were dressed adequately. You got out there a couple of minutes before the bus. Now when I'm driving to school, because I drive past 2 or 3 school districts to get to our little school, I see kids out there and I'm like, holy cow, they're gonna freeze to death. So I know a lot of times when I hear public schools closing down and stuff, it's because of, or they'll do a late start. Hey, we're not gonna pick you up till 8 or 9 instead of 6:30 or 7.
Yeah.
Because kids aren't prepared and could freeze to death in the mornings because these generation of parents. That's a whole other can of worms.
Well, yeah, we better not get started on that soft parenting or gentle parenting or whatever it's called, because we'll be here all night. But as far as snow days and what's going on, we'll have a video out tomorrow of kind of our family dealing with all of the snow. But so far, all the animals are still alive. That's a win. I mean, that's really our goal. Anytime you get down to -2 degrees, I think it was last night, and we'll be down to 0 tonight, you're going to kind of get to see who your weaker animals are. Unfortunately, it's just part of life. Life and death on the farm. It's farm life, people. You guys know that. But your sick animals, your old animals, your weaker animals, will really be exposed whenever the temperatures drop that low or in extreme heat. It gets really, really hot, they will also be exposed, just like anything else. So all the cows have nice snow on their backs. Your donkeys look like they were fat and sassy. You got snow on their backs, happy. Yep. The sheep don't even realize what's going on. Bella, our English shepherd,
our one goat is dry, completely dry, no snow, no. He didn't have snow that melted because he's not insulated. Like completely dry because he has stayed in the shelter. But our sheep, just like our donkeys and our cows and our German or our English shepherd Bella, they have snow froze to their back because they want to go out and get in this and they enjoy it and they have the winter coat for it. Shelby, dry. She's actually staying underneath the porch and in the doghouse. So it's just funny how they're different.
Shelby does go follow me around to do chores, and she'll kind of jump through the snow. But then when she gets back up here,
just hang out in it. Like
she cleans off her paws. She climbs in the doghouse and she sits there and looks out. Like you can tell, she wants to be in a doghouse.
Yeah.
But for the majority of our animals,
Xena, she's just out in it. She don't care.
Yeah, she'll go out and lay down on it and just look at me like, no problem here. I'm just living my life. And I know it's so foreign to a lot of people that live in town, in an apartment, with their dog, their foo-foo dog that goes everywhere. And there's nothing wrong with that. They go everywhere with them in the car. They go through this drive-through and get a pup cup. But they're treated like humans. And you know what? You take that dog that's been treated like a human for 10 years, you throw it outside, it might die. Like, there's a good chance because it has adapted its life to being in a warm climate.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say about the chickens. Like, the chickens are out there in the elements. They have their coops and things like that, but their body is slowly acclimated to the cold and then slowly acclimated back to the heat. If we just kept them inside in a heated facility all the time and then just threw them outside, or we kept them inside in an air-conditioned facility and then threw them out in the summer, like their bodies hasn't adjusted to that. They haven't adapted. They haven't overcome. So that would be like a complete shock. It's just like taking someone from Florida and taking them where it's cold, and the people that live there are like, it's not cold, a t-shirt and shorts, and the Florida person's like, or you take the person that's from up north and take them to Florida when it's hot and they're about to die, and the people in Florida's like, this is perfect. So not everyone understands that. I saw a comment today on someone else's channel that said, and this is in Oklahoma, they said, in Oklahoma City, it's against the law to leave your dogs outside in cold weather. I'm like, it ain't against the law. Like, that's crazy. How do you think the stray cats and the stray dogs make it?
Well, and like, yes, give them a windbreak, give them some straw, give them some bedding, give them something to get warm inside of as far as breaking the wind and something. But I wouldn't, like, it could be like their HOA could make a law or something. Like, if you have a dog tied to a pole out in the cold,
I'm going to say
they need
HOA or an animal without sufficient bedding or whatever.
Yeah.
That's different than if I lived in town and I had a dog that lived in the backyard. It's going to have a dog house with straw and stuff in it. No one's going to write me a ticket or take me to jail for that.
No.
Like,
especially in Oklahoma.
It's not against the law. Now, if I had a dog chained to a post out there with no way to get out of the elements,
no water, no food,
that's probably going to get me in trouble.
Yeah,
but they made it sound like any dog left outside going straight to jail.
And we love our animals very much, and that's why we take care of them. But we also recognize that they're animals. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what we're saying is it's just you have to let the animals use what God gave them. In the summertime, our cows will look nice and slick. They'll look really pretty. The sun will hit them with shine. In the wintertime right now, you go out there and they have a big, thick coat of hair, and they're look kind of hairy right between their eyes and up on their head, and they'll lose it throughout the year. So
yeah, Gary put a reel up on Facebook of Jake sending out a mating call, and never ever did I imagine some of the comments of people like,
confused.
Stop filming and help him. He's crying. He's hurt. Some people just want to make money off of views and need to put down the camera. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, the title literally says someone told Jake Valentine's Day's over.
That's the reason I posted it, is because he was making a huge mating call, paw on the ground. You couldn't see it in the video, but he was hitting the tree with his head. He was asserting dominance, so all of the girls would think he's something else.
The girls can hear him from a mile away, but people are commenting on a 15-second clip like he's in distress and hurting. Oh my goodness. But that's just the difference in farm life, city life, or not being around it. And we recognize those differences. It's just frustrating when people come at us and they don't recognize the differences.
Yeah.
If I got a foo-foo dog that's been living the foo-foo life, when it's cold outside, it better be in here living the foo-foo life or it's not going to do good.
Well, and I will say 95% of those comments that are goofy are always on Facebook, and all of the intelligent comments are on YouTube because you are smarter than them. And I'll just say that like that because it's the truth. Our followers on here are so much more knowledgeable and understanding. I said 95. You're always going to have 5% or 1%, whatever, that are just, just a little bit crazy. But that's okay.
And some of you maybe didn't understand when you first started watching Homesteaders, but as you've watched, you've learned and you've realized. And I appreciate it when I see you go and reply to other people's comments that are like, hey, maybe you're new here, or maybe you didn't know, and you educate them when they do say those things that don't make any sense because maybe they're new here. So thank you to all of you guys that do that.
Yeah, we have a lot of good subscribers that will obviously take up for us in the comments if it does get out of hand. They'll go to battle for us. So thank you for that too. But we just wanted to check in with you guys. It's a nice time for us to sit inside and chat because, well,
we ain't got nothing else to do.
It is completely freezing outside, and
we don't have no Coke Zero. Don't have nowhere to go.
I'll be going to town tomorrow to get Cassie some Coke Zero.
I'm thinking about doing it here in a second.
Oh my! It's still daylight, so I guess if you thought you had to, you could. But what about your orange energy drink? You don't need an energy drink this late.
I had half of one of those.
How was it? You're
going to make people go crazy. It's not an energy drink. It's vitamin water.
Vitamin water.
With, I don't know what else in it, but it only has
ginseng.
50 milligrams of caffeine. Those energy drinks have like 200.
B10.
It's got less than a cup of coffee, but it does have other vitamins
in it. I know, that's the point. It's vitamin water.
We'll get these people started on energy drinks. I posted a story on Facebook, and I got all the comments about drinking energy.
All right, we've already went through that. So any prayer requests, I do want to remind you, be in prayer for those in our community that don't have the ability to be warm right now, whether it's they don't have good heat, good resources, homeless, those that are outside. Just have prayer that they find shelter. I know there's multiple shelters opened up in our area, several in Pryor that are heating shelters where people can come temporarily if they need to get warm.
Yeah, be praying for Stowe to Living's mom. I'm not sure how much he has shared on his channel, but she goes to our church and she has lymphoma. And Sunday, her daughter-in-law told me that Monday or Tuesday, which has already passed, she was getting her strongest chemo or something. I can't remember exactly, but up until this point, she's done really well, hasn't been too sick. Her only thing is energy and being zapped and tired, but she was getting that, and so they were hoping that she didn't get sick and stuff, which, it's already passed, but she still needs prayer for strength. If she is sick, that God would remove that, and that she would just continue to do great. They are very optimistic and have said she has done amazing with everything that's come her way. So
yeah, just remain in prayer for her. We do appreciate it. They are like family to us, so we thank you so much. We hope that you guys have a great day. We hope you stay warm, and God bless.
We love you guys.